The raw power and drama of traditional arm wrestling meets strategy, scoring, and city pride of Major League Sports. With the new Team Arm Wrestling Federation, founder Jason Costantini joins me along with athlete Michael Smith from the Toronto Smoke. Gentlemen, good morning. Thanks for joining us at Morning Live.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Jason, we'll start with you. How did this all start?
I fell in love with arm wrestling kind of through some personal sort of turmoil. So I had a battle with cancer that left me with this big hernia from the surgery that I had. I used to do a lot of powerlifting and competitive sports. I wasn't able to powerlift anymore because of the hernia. Long story short, I found arm wrestling and fell in love with it. Was able to do it. The hernia still got in the way, but I got it fixed. But I was able to fall in love with the sport. And from doing that, one of the things I noticed was that it's a sport that you have to have a team. You have to have somebody else to practice with, or a group of other guys to practice with, because as much as you can go to the gym and train on your own, there's so much technique and fight aspect involved in it that if you don't learn that part of it, when you get to a competition, somebody's just going to dummy you or make you look silly, So, but you go and compete alone, and I wanted to kind of create an environment where you could, kind of win with the guys you practice with, sort of thing, and that, over the last few years has led me to this Team Arm Wrestling Federation.
So hence the league. This is like the National Hockey League or the NFL of arm wrestling.
Yeah, that's the idea, exactly. Kind of merging, think like NFL meets UFC. So the strategy and the team pride of the NFL, but the kind of intensity of fight sports that you get from the UFC.
Cool. Michael, how'd you get involved?
I come from a rugby background, but I trained while I was in Toronto. I lived in Toronto for work at the time, and I trained at the same gym as him. They had arm wrestling table there, so anytime I'm working out, I'm like walking by, I'm like, oh, I don't want to learn. I don't want to learn. Eventually started learning from picking it up. COVID happened, couldn't play rugby. Kind of just, all right, well, might as well get strong arms and start doing that, picking up more and more. Rugby injuries were happening, so I'm like starting to switch, rugby less, arm wrestling more, and now I'm like full-time arm wrestling. Been with the club, 5.5
Yeah, we've been around, the Club Table Monkeys in Toronto has been around for like 5 years now. Nice. So my business partner Alex and I started once COVID, so I found arm wrestling. About 6 months later, COVID happened, and I was like, I'm not going to stop arm wrestling. So Alex and I kept arm wrestling and kept going by creating this YouTube channel, and that was our way of like learning the sport and kind of keeping it alive for ourselves while we couldn't, kind of participated on the public level with everybody else. And then once COVID ended, we had kind of developed a following online, and that developed this club in Toronto called the Table Monkeys. So we incorporated that business. We got a small business loan, and that's how we've kind of built it all up to getting to this Team Arm Wrestling Federation.
You're on the Montreal Saints. You're on the Toronto Smoke. You want to give us a little demo of how this works?
Yeah, for sure. Okay. So there's in arm wrestling. We got a minute. We got 1 minute. All right, perfect. So in arm wrestling, one thing that you got to understand is that it's a matter of leverages and trying to take advantage. So you don't want to hang on to each other. So when actually, you know what? We have a minute. We're gonna go hook and no straps.
Yes.
So there's a few different techniques. There's a top roll, which is where we're going up top like this, trying to go after each other's hands. There's a hook where we're coming forward, trying to get tight with our bodies, and this is usually about pulling and dragging, and using power like this. And then there's a press where we're going to come in and try to use our shoulder and press. And it's kind of like rock, paper, scissors. So if Mike comes into hook and I go to top roll, I'm usually taking him away from his power, and now I'm kind of beating him. So this is the counter to this move. If I go to press and Mike comes into, if I go to top roll and Mike comes into press, that's a counter to that move. If Mike comes into press and I go to hook, that's a counter to that move. So it's
not just about power.
No. If the strengths are somewhat equal, it really becomes a fight sport where it's a chess match. Which way are you going to go? Which way am I going to go?
Really, before we go to break here, where can people get tickets and support you guys?
Yeah, best place to go is just go to tawf.ca. That's our website. All the information that you need is there, and we're really looking forward to it. And it'll be broadcast on Fight Network and on the Table Monkeys YouTube channel.
Awesome. Thanks for joining us. Best of luck, guys.
Thank you so much.